Welcome back. You're still watching the Afia Morning Show, and thank you for staying with us once again. I'm Nathalie Uku, and of course, right before the break, we are looking at what the transition looks like at the Owo Campus of Enugu Smart Green School. Now we're joined in the studio by special guest, the Director, Experiential Learning, Enugu Smart Green School, Owo Campus, Dr. Chinyere Onyeisi, as she brings us up to speed with a breakdown of Enugu's transition process to smart learning. Dr. Onyeisi, thank you so much for joining the show this morning. So good to have you.
Thank you very much.
And of course, Oji, I'm sure this is going to be an enlightening experience for all of us because so much attention has been placed on the structures, the boards, all of that, the building, so to speak. But not much has been said so far about the children or what the transition process really looks like. How do they get registered? Has the curriculum been approved? So many questions. But let's start with the idea of transition. What does Enugu's transition to smart learning really mean?
Okay, thank you very much. Enugu transitioning to smart learning is a whole lot of process, ranging from teachers posting, student posting, as well as the content, what it means for a child to go into a smart classroom. So then looking at teachers posting, there is a lot of processes now ongoing. Teachers have passed through exams as well as training, and then teachers have been posted to new smart schools where they are supposed to continue their processes. And then from that new smart schools, there are going to be a lot of training because the truth about the trend is that it's moving fast, and the Smart Green School requires a lot of preparation to make sure that our teachers are in the right track to engage the students effectively. Then on the aspect of the students, you all know that the Smart Green School is being constructed to 260 political ward. So at each ward, there are certain schools within the ward. So it's expected that every ward, we already have a certain number of schools that will be merged together in that particular schools. But the schools we are transiting now is moving in phases because it's not all the schools that is 100% ready. So we have about 48 schools that are 100% ready that we are transiting at this first phase. So the students who have been allocated to the schools are already aware that they are moving from that school. And then the transitioning is not going to be like a general thing where the teachers or the management will sit down and be registering people. A lot of digital documentation is ongoing where we've collected data from the source in the schools, data of the students from the various schools where we're transiting them to the new schools. So the data are already being collated and the students will be transited to the new schools. Now, we also need to let them know, smart school is two different things, comparing the already existing schools and the new smart schools. So there are a lot of orientations that will go on the aspect of the student as well as the teachers. So all these things are in process till we simultaneously transit the children.
Okay, let's talk about the bedrock of this smart school. Bedrock, the teachers, right? You talk about them being trained. Can you walk us through the processes of their trainings? Can you just break it down for us here?
Okay, the teachers remain the central point of this transformation because they are actually going to play a very important role in the life of the children. And the teachers have been undergoing several trainings. We started from the digital literacy training, which is the basic, and we also expanded from the basic digital literacy to intermediate as well as the advanced digital literacy. But that is not the only thing they need. The teacher also have been undergoing training on 21st century skills that will prepare them adequately to engage the student constructively. Today's education has moved from content, rote memorization to creativity. So the teachers are going to engage the students in a creative way. And that is why the 21st century skills is essential because teachers have been undergoing training on that so that they can engage the students with critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, and communication, effective communication.
All right, in simple terms, and I want us to really look at this clearly because there's a lot of confusion around our understanding of how this is happening. I want to know where Enugu is right now in the transition. We understand that some of the public schools existing are going to be merged into the various smart schools scattered across the world. We get it. So where are we now in the transition? We were at Owo Campus yesterday. Is that part of the transition? Is it only at the nursery level? Where are they being transited to? Which of the other schools are currently, really walk us through what is on ground beyond the format.
Okay, let me give you a specific example from what you saw. Owo Smart Green School, after the construction, has a capacity of 1,000, right? So we now had to merge schools, 4 primary schools, 4 public primary schools, and 2 junior secondary schools together to now bring them to a central point. That's the Smart Green School of Owo. And in that central point, we now have about 840 something students. Then at some point, we also admitted students from private schools. Okay, so the process of transitioning begins with the public schools first.
Yeah, so which of the public schools have been merged into the Owo Campus?
Okay.
Which of them?
Idodo River. There's a public schools at Idodo River. There is Isiago Public Schools. There is also Central Public Schools. And there is also about 4. Then we have Central Schools, the junior secondary schools, as well as the Isiago Junior Secondary School. So we merged them together. That's 6 schools together to become that one smart school.
All right.
So this is actually going to be the same process. For instance, in every smart green school, in every community, there is already existing public primary and secondary schools within that area. So we're going to merge them. That's how we're merging them. According to when any school that is ready, we move them. That's why I said that the transitioning is in different phases.
So the merging is with regards to the criteria for the merging has to do with the location of the existing public schools. So now Owo Campus houses both junior secondary and the primary school as well, and of course the nursery.
Yes.
The nursery. So now for those students who have finished their BESE, they finished their NECO examination. Now, probably they want to move to perhaps the TVET college, right?
Yes.
So where are we now with that? In simple terms, help us understand it.
Okay, the students, the first set of students that graduated from the junior secondary schools.
And they have graduated. There's a set that's graduated, right?
Yes, the set.
All right, go ahead.
So they are getting ready to be posted at the GTC, that's the TVET College of Government Technical College. So, and then the senior secondary school smart school is also ongoing. We're looking at that by January. It will also be completed, so that it will be easier for students that graduate to move in a larger, from like students that want to end up as science students. Maybe they want to become lawyers, they want to become doctors. So they are supposed to pass through senior secondary schools, not technical and vocational. So I don't know if you're getting the point.
Yes, so let's understand it now. So the smart school has nursery 1 to...
Okay, go ahead.
Nursery 1 to GS3, like the Owo Campus, for instance. Okay, great. So now the people who have finished their junior secondary, we know that at the GTC campus, there's a TVET college, and there's also the GTC campus smart school there. So where are the junior secondary students who have just graduated going to? Are they going to the TVET or are they going to the GTC smart school?
No, they're going to the TVET.
So straight to the TVET college, all right? Great. So at what point is that going to happen? And right now, are they already going to open up the school, the TVET college, for them to enter? Or is there some kind of transition or landing for them?
It's the same process of transition, because yesterday we were having engagement with the parents as well as the student that graduates for them to understand the process of transitioning, because we're moving them to the technical and vocational right? So, and every Smart Green school is going to have 21 classrooms, where we have 3 classes for nursery, 12 classes for primary, and 6 classes for junior secondary schools, making it up 21 classrooms. And when you hear the word smart, it's trying to tell us that it's not going to be the same processes they encounter in other conventional schools, because the smart school is fully equipped with a lot of tech-enabled devices that will enable the student to learn, and then fully integrated with AI-driven solutions. You talked about curriculum. Has it been approved? So I want to clear you on that aspect of curriculum, because when you look at what is happening in the world globally, today's classroom is no longer the same classroom we see. Classrooms is no longer bound by walls. It is global, interactive, digital, and inclusive. And Enugu State has fully adopted that kind of classroom. So when a child is coming into the smart school, that's why we want to get everything set before we move them from that old school to where they're going to enter. Because that child, as they're stepping into the class, the child is actually going to encounter an interactive board. The child that we are actually hoping to meet, maybe a blackboard, when the child is coming into the classroom with intention to see a blackboard, and now find out that he's seeing a
digital board. Great. So we understand there's a transition in Owo to the GTC campus, and of course that involves the TVET college and the Smart School GTC campus. Beyond this setting, where else is a transition taking place? Which other schools are currently going through, among the others across the wards?
Okay, like in the township, there is the catchment areas like GTC Enugu. In GTC Enugu, we have 2 smart schools, 2 basic smart schools, and 1 technical and vocational. So people from Chinatown are public primary schools. They have been assigned to move to GTC, but they are undergoing orientation first. This is what you're going to see in your new school. This is how you're going to get yourself prepared before you migrate from here to here. So that is what is going on now. Then the Queen's College, there's also other schools within that Queen's College, which is also going to migrate to the Queen's Smart School. And we also have New Haven Primary School, which is also part of the Smart Schools that is undergoing transition currently. Students from New Haven Primary Schools automatically are moving to the New Haven Smart Schools.
And the New Haven Smart School, what's the status with that?
It's 100% ready inside.
What counts as 100%?
100% is when the structure is completed in terms of painting and then equipment. So there are seats already equipped for students to commence. But the orientation is still ongoing before we move them to the new classrooms.
You talked about the curriculum. Has it been approved by the National Education Commission yet, or any commission, the curriculum being taught at the smart schools? And what constitutes this curriculum?
Okay, the curriculum we're using is 100% Nigerian curriculum. The only thing is that when we look at the curriculum, you find out that it's not moving in line with the trend. I will be very specific to you, for instance. If you check the curriculum content in commerce, you'll be surprised that content like typewriting machine is still there. So what Enugu State is very, very careful to ensure that we make sure that our children is moving in line with the trend. So the curriculum we're using, we have actually reformed that curriculum to make it holistic and robust, but it's Nigerian curriculum.
And is it approved? Is it something that can hold water?
The Ministry of Enugu State, the Ministry of Education actually worked with that curriculum in line with the boards. They work seriously to reform the curriculum to make it holistic. Enugu as a state is not just qualified to change Nigerian curriculum or work out a separate curriculum. So what we have is Nigerian curriculum, but we have added up other things that our children need. So we've made that curriculum to be more robust, more holistic. Now, let me also remind you that technology innovation is changing a lot of things. And we are competing with artificial intelligence that revolutionized every sector. It's changing even the content we're using to teach. The AI remodel itself every 3 months. So what it means is that within 3 months, a newer version of that content will emerge. So that was why we also integrated an AI-driven solution in our curriculum to make sure that that curriculum we're using is in line with the trend. So as the students are assessing the curriculum, they are assessing curriculum that is in line with the trend.
Has it been approved?
Yes.
Okay. So there's a missing link here I would like you to fill. So from the junior secondary, going to the senior secondary, I talk about the TVET, right?
I don't like that question.
Go ahead with your question, Oji. Go ahead.
I just wanted to understand, right? So are there no options for these kids? Are they told, oh, this is what you have to do? Moving on from the junior secondary, moving them to the TVET, right? Can you solve I was confused at that point in time, right? So students are meant to just go into the TVET and study, even if they want to align with that or not.
Okay, what happened is that the junior secondary school students we have, the population of junior secondary schools we have that graduated, we are very limited. We have about 19 students. And these 19 students, many of them showed interest in taking to that part of the technical and vocational, because
many of them, not all.
Just one person that is not interested in going to that. So, but 18 are interested in moving to TVET because they have actually displayed capacity in some skilled related content, and we supported them because we've noticed that they have capacity on that aspect, right? So we encourage them. So this number of students are moving to that.
So what happened to the one?
So that one is a special case because the senior secondary schools where she's supposed to move in is not 100% ready. So we are also thinking critically on how to handle her case, but it's still at the table.
All right. Now, for the registration, what's the procedure like when you're trying to register these pupils or these students and send them to?
Because we are not admitting just everybody, we are doing that from the school. We already have the document. Like I said, we have a lot of digital documents ongoing behind the scene, like from their data, the total number of students in a certain school, we have their data. So we're migrating the entire student from this school to the other school. So we are not thinking of like opening up a table, people will come and start registering their children. So when they come, when we had that, we already had the data. So when we post the data, we now tell them what they are going to bring for us. Like we need to also get the health status of our children. All these things we are not documented before now. So, but currently we have also worked out a plan where the children data, health status, my immunization status and everything will be fully documented. So it's part of the registration processes, but the first phase is orientation, which is being done in their various schools now.
What happens to the former schools when the transition has been successful in the particular local government, or the ward, much rather, where the smart school is situated? What happens to the former schools, the carcasses that have been left behind?
Well, most of those schools are already dilapidated, the buildings. So it's not something you can say, if we move our children out of this class, well, we're going to miss all those things. There is no document there. There is no infrastructure. So what we have is just a structure. So the community will now decide what they want to use it for. But the kind of schools we're bringing to Enugu is a schools that requires new infrastructure so that we can put those necessary things like digital interactive boards. Every Smart Green school will have 25 interactive boards. So what it means is that every classroom, there must be an interactive board. Like I said, we have 21 classrooms, but 24 laboratories. 21 classrooms and 4 laboratories, making it up to 25.
All right. Beyond the smart boards, what is smart about the smart school?
Okay. The smart boards, apart from the smart boards, the mode of teaching is also an amazing approach, which we call experiential learning pedagogy. Experiential learning is learning by doing. So, and the way teachers engage the student in experiential learning makes teaching and learning more realistic and relevant and fun. And the smart board also aid the teachers to ensure that the content is fully integrated.
Holistically speaking, of all the smart schools scattered across Enugu State, how many of them are ready? If Afia TV were to continue, which we are going to do to monitor this transition, which of these smart schools are completed? What percentage? Which ones are still yet to be completed? Could you give us some estimates so that we know how many of them are?
I can give you a rough estimate. About 27 smart schools is 100% ready. 100%. When I mean 100%, we are already equipping them with seats and every other things needed, and they are distributed across the 17 local governments. Then 21 smart schools are 95% ready. Then 40 smart schools are 80% ready. So that's why I said the smart schools transitioning is going to be in phases.
Gradual phases.
So as they are getting ready, we are transiting from where they are to the new smart schools.
Securing the vital infrastructure, what's in place to ensure that we don't have hoodlums coming in? I mean, we're looking at rural communities. And these smart schools, I have to say on this program, they're not, you have to go inside, as they will say in Igbo, nime, before you can find the schools. So this is like, it's close to the people, and it's in those communities, you know, when you're traveling and you just see like a lot of bush and you're just like, you just see just something standing there. It's almost like it's shining like a ray of sunshine, and it's just the brand new smart school. So it's inside, it's closest to those people who otherwise would not have had such a thing in their midst. And that also made me think of, during that trip, the need to also bring developments. Of course, if you have something like that
close to the people,
because that's what extends development. When you see an estate or a school, you start seeing more people wanting to invest in those areas. That's how development reaches the hinterlands. So essentially, you also have the risk of security and hoodlums coming there because it's far out as well. What's in place to ensure proper security of the smart school?
Okay. One of the major things the state government, one of the greatest things the state government has done to us is the smart school. And when you look at the smart school, you know, people really do not really understand everything about the smart schools now, because it's still coming, you understand? It's still like a new thing. Bringing that smart school close to the people in their various community is the starting point of development. Yes, we're very concerned about everybody is concerned about the security. How is it going to be secured? Yes, but we have begun with a kind of sensitization to the community to understand that this is not just a government project. You know, if it's government project, you'll be talking about what happened to this project if this government, maybe if the government finishes their own tenure and another government coming. But this is generational investment. And then this is the aspect of sensitization we are giving the children, the community leaders, the community, the parents, to understand that this is a generational investment. And if it's a generational investment, it is about our future, the future of our children. And everybody, all hands are expected to be on deck. So this is not just the government thing to take care of this. So government has their plan for security, but the community are already working hard, seriously, to protect their project, because this is, by the time the project is completely done, it's going to be handed over.
So what's the picture of security at the Owo Campus of the Smart Green School? Paint a picture of the security infrastructure currently on ground.
Okay, the picture of the security at Owo Smart Green School is that the Smart Green School has about 32 camera points that is located at the strategic places, where we have a CCTV camera that is monitoring everything that is going on in the smart school. And then the government also instituted other security personnel that are at the gate. Then the community already set up a security structure too. Community also have a security structure that is now trying to seamlessly work effectively with the government security personnel, where the security will know this is our project. We want to make sure that our project is fully secured. So it's not just about project.
We're out of time now, but I have to ask you one final question. We did notice some signs of maintenance-related issues. We saw that it had rained, but there was water collecting somewhere. We also saw that one of the swings at the Smart School had already come off the chain, which should ordinarily be a simple issue to fix. It's to connect it back or bring in a technical team to do that. So there seems to be a lot of minor things that, if left to chance, could escalate into serious concerns. The Smart Schools had resumed, but we did not see the grass already trimmed. I mean, that should have been done ahead of the resumption. So clearly there's some kind of gap. What's the plan for that? Owo Campus is the major prototype here and reflects what we hope to see elsewhere across the other Smart Schools. So what is the picture of maintenance, and what is Owo Campus doing to ensure that this vital, very expensive infrastructure is kept at optimum condition? Very briefly, because we're already out of time.
Okay, so in our campus, we have a maintenance team, people that are trained to ensure that they safeguard and maintain every facilities that is in the Smart Schools. And then currently, like today, the swing thing has been fixed, because the maintenance team, some of them, like, what you saw is because we have been on a long holidays and then they came back. So, but the clearing of grass is still ongoing. And at some point, we also discovered that the water collection was as a result of, this is nature. Sometimes you don't know, we're not predicting that maybe such a thing can happen. So it's like a new water collection we noticed. So, and immediate attention has been taken care.
All right. Okay, so when it now comes to who is in charge, we understand that right now the Smart Schools have not been transferred to any agency or board whatsoever. It's still being handled by the Ministry of Education, through the Ministry of Education. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Currently, yes, through the Ministry of Education. Yeah.
So is the Ministry of Education overseeing the maintenance sufficiently of the Smart School?
Yes, for now. Ministry of Education are overseeing the maintenance.
So why would the Smart Schools resume and we're still not seeing the grass trimmed? Is that an oversight? Do you acknowledge that as an oversight?
It's an oversight, yeah.
So we're sure that's going to be checked, isn't it?
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Mrs. Onyeisi, for joining us on the morning show this morning. And of course, we'll continue to engage further. Our next stop will be GTC. I would like to follow up on developments there. Thank you once again for coming all the way from Owo to the morning show today. The morning show returns in just split seconds as we go, join another conversation. Do stay tuned.